Dear students, this is your economic online class. We are discussing 7th chapter Indian economy. In the last class, we completed about the contribution of economic thinkers Jawaharlal Nehru, Ambedkar, and their economic ideas we discussed. Today in this video, we have to discuss about the rest of the concept of the Ambedkar's idea and J.C. Kumarappa, then V.K.R.B. Rao. Okay, we discussed about the B.R. Ambedkar's economic ideas. So his contribution to the economic. Okay, today we have to discuss about the financial economics, agricultural economics, economics of caste, and economics of socialism. Under this concept, what about Ambedkar explained? Okay, let me see the financial economics said by Ambedkar. So much of the work done by Ambedkar during his stay abroad, mostly during the period of 1913 to 1923. It was in the field of finance economics. Ambedkar divided the evolution of provincial finance into three stages. Okay, provisional finance into three stages he explained under the three headings. What are they? Budget by assignment. So this is 1871 to 72 to 1876 to 77. The second head is budget by assigned revenue. The year given here 77 to 78, between 1881 to 82. And third heading is budget by shared revenues. This is to 83 to 21. Okay, 1883 to 1921. So that the financial economics divided in the three category by Ambedkar. He said about the budget by assignment, budget by assigned revenue, and budget by shared revenues. And agricultural economics. According to Ambedkar, in 1918, Ambedkar published a paper like thesis, okay? N number of theses submitted by Ambedkar. The research, thesis means research about economy. So he published a paper, Small Holding in India and their Remedies. This is one more question they may ask, okay? And citing Adam Smith's Wealth of Nation, he made a fine distinction between consolidation of holdings and enlargement of holdings. So how much hold the land holding by the consolidation as well as the enlargement. He explained about the agricultural economics. Then economics of caste. Ambedkar believed that caste was an obstacle to social mobility. According to his idea, caste is an obstacle. So with the caste system, we cannot move social development and we cannot bring the social development. So it can be act as an obstacle to social mobility. He explained keenly. It resulted in social stratification. If the society maintaining the caste system means, it resulted in the social stratification, stagnation. So everything will be stagnant there. There is no development. He was of the firm view that individual must be free to change their occupation. His ideas, according to Ambedkar's view, the firm means industry. The individual must be free to change their occupation. Whatever they wish, they can select, they can choose. Okay. Moreover, the caste system caused social tension. So, the caste system has resulted in the absence of social democracy in India as distinct from political democracy. So that he hesitates caste system. Through this concept, we can identify, we can analyze about Ambedkar's idea about caste system. Okay, caste system is an obstacle to social mobility. So that it causes social tension, and caste system bring absence of social democracy. Okay, these are the economics of caste. So the caste system affect the economic system entirely. The next point is economics of socialism. Ambedkar was a socialist, okay, as an economist as well as a socialist. He was a champion of state socialism. He advocated the nationalization of all key industries and suggested the state ownership of land and collective farming. He advocated the nationalization of key industries and suggested the state ownership of land and collective farming. So the collective farming insisted by them. He was for the state monopoly of insurance business. Okay, the monopoly of insurance business. He stated that not only that he advocated compulsory insurance for every citizen. So he gave idea of insurance in the monopoly as well as the every citizen they should have. There is no doubt that Ambedkar was a great economist, we know that, but his academic work as an economist was eclipsed by his greater contribution in the field of law and politics. Above all, was a great social reformer. Through his economic ideas, we can understand. Okay, these are the points given by the Ambedkar for the economy. Okay, the 1 mark may be asked from his thesis. How many theses he submitted, what the book he wrote, what a paper he published, everything they may ask. Okay, next we have to move. J.C. Kumarappa. Joseph Chelladurai Kumarappa was born on 4th January 1892 in Tanjore, Tamil Nadu. In Tanjore, Tamil Nadu. A pioneer of rural economic development theories, Kumarappa is credited for developing economic theories based on Gandhian, a school of economic thought. He coined Gandhian economics. He advocated and followed Gandhian school of economics. So Gandhian school of economics and Gandhian thoughts he followed. So that he coined the word Gandhian economics. He only coined the word Gandhian economics. Who? J.C. Kumarappa. This is 1 mark question. Okay. What is Gandhian economics? According to J.C. Kumarappa, he strongly supported Gandhiji's nation of village industries and promoted village industries association. Gandhi said about villagers, the economy living in the villages. Okay, so that like the Gandhiji's ideas, J.C. Kumarappa also strongly supported his idea and about the promotion of village industries association. Kumarappa worked to combine Christian and Gandhian values of trusteeship, non-violence and a focus on human dignity and development in place of materialism as the basis of his economic theories. Okay, the values followed by Gandhiji, like Kumarappa also following trusteeship, which is non-violence. Who was followed the non-violence? Gandhiji followed the non-violence. So through the non-violence, what he focused? He focused on human dignity and development in the place of materialism as the basis of his economic theories. So that while rejecting socialism, emphasis on class war. So class war means the community, caste, okay, class war and force in implementation. He also reject the emphasis on material development, competition and efficiency of free market economics. So Gandhiji and Kumarappa envisioned an economy focused on satisfying human needs and challenges while rooting out socio-economic conflict, unemployment, poverty and deprivation. So that both are coming under one theory or one idea. What is that? Gandhiji and Kumarappa envisioned an economy focused on satisfying the human needs and their challenges while rooting out the socio-economic background, conflict, unemployment, poverty, and deprivation. Kumarappa worked as a professor of economics at the Gujarat Vidyapith in Ahmedabad, while serving as a editor of Young India during the Salt Satyagraha. So, during the Salt Satyagraha conducted by Mahatma Gandhi, he was an editor of the Young India magazine. He founded the All India Village Industries Association in 1935, and he was imprisoned for more than a year during a Quiet India movement. During the Quiet India movement, he was imprisoned for more than 1 year. He wrote during his imprisonment, Economy of Permanence, the practice and precepts of Jesus and Christianity, its economy and way of life. During his imprisonment, he is not sitting simply in the prison. He wrote some books. What are the books? The Practice and Precept of Jesus, Economy of Permanence, and Economy and Way of Life. Okay. Several of Gandhiji's followers developed a theory of environmentalism. Kumarappa took the lead in a number of relevant books in the 1930s and 1940s. Okay. And historian Ramachandra Guha calls Kumarappa as the Green Gandhian. Okay, this is one more question. Who called Kumarappa as a Green Gandhian? The historian Ramachandra Guha. Okay, who is the Green Gandhi? J.C. Kumarappa. So, why did he call like that, the Green Gandhian? Portraying him as the founder of modern environmentalism in India. Okay, he only said about environmentalism with the economy. So that he called as the Green Gandhian. By whom? Ramachandra Guha. Kumarappa worked for the Planning Commission of India and the Indian National Congress to develop national policies for agriculture and rural development. So that he worked for Planning Commission of India to develop the National Congress and the national policies in the agricultural field and rural development, everything. He also traveled to China, Eastern Europe and Japan and diplomatic assignment and to study the rural economic system. So that the study about the rural economic system, he want to know about that. That's why he traveled from India to China, Eastern Europe and Japan, every countries. Okay, these are the economic ideas given by J.C. Kumarappa under the topic, under the heading of Gandhian economics. The next topic is V.K.R.V. Rao. According to P.R. Brahmananda, the great trinity of pre-independent and post-independent Indian economics consisted of D.R. Gadgil, C.N. Vakil and V.K.R.V. Rao. These scholars were imbibed with a missionary zeal and analyzed the Indian economic problem with a view of designing and propagating economics policies, programs and plans to India's national advantage. So that V.K.R.V. Rao was a prolific warrior, a prolific writer. You can say him prolific writer. So V.K.R.V. Rao was deeply interested three large themes. Okay, he said about three large themes. They are national income, food, nutrition and the distribution of goods, and employment, occupational distribution. These are the three heads, three large themes he said. What about national income methodology said by V.K.R.V. Rao? As an applied economist, Rao name is remembered for his pioneer work on the enumeration of national income of India. Rao was a pupil of J.M. Keynes and he worked with Colin Clark. H.W. Signer, he considered V.K.R.V. Rao as the best equipped of all Keynes pupils. So he attempted to develop the national income concept suited to India and developing countries generally to analyze the concept of investment, saving and multiplier in an underdeveloped economy and to study the compatibility of national income of industrialized and underdeveloped countries. These are the focus given by the R.K.V. Rao to the Indian economy. Okay, he focused on analyze the concept of investment to develop the national income concept suited. What are the concepts suited for the India to develop the country generally, and increasing the investment in the underdeveloped economy, and also increasing the saving and multiplier. These are the concepts focused by him. And Rao papers on full employment and economic development. He also submitted published one paper in the topic of full employment and economic development, was one of the earliest contribution in the field of development towards employment. So for employment generation, he gave a idea, which is he published one paper, full employment and economic development. Okay, and then international food aid. Rao was influential in creating ideas and shaping policy in the international attack on world poverty. So about world poverty, he gave some ideas. And not only through his contribution to the question of international aid and improved flows of external resources, but also through his activities in the field of food aid. So whatever the food aid need to India, he not only asked the question, and he gave ideas and aid, food aid also given by him. Support for socialism. So during the early phases of planning in India, Rao supported the case of a socialist India, where the state would control the commanding height of the economy, and the public sector would play a dominant role in the economic development. So his support for socialism, through the socialism only, the plan will be propagated. So that the first phases of the planning in India, Rao supported the case of socialist India, so that through the socialism only, control the commanding heights of the economy, and public sector would play a dominant role in the economic development. So he advocated about the role of the government. Okay, what are the role of the government? To control the economic policies and economic sectors and in the works given by the public sector to the society. So that he advocated about socialism. Rao's views on industrialization. In his pamphlet means booklet. The small booklet is called a pamphlet. What is wrong with Indian economic life? In 1938, Rao gave the following reasons for low per capita income and low levels of per capita nutrition in India. So these are the problems happening on those days in India. Through his pamphlet, he explained about the situation of India, and he gave the pamphlet to the public. Uneconomic holdings with the subdivisions and fragmentation. These are the points given in his pamphlets. Okay, uneconomic holdings with subdivisions and fragmentation. Low levels of water availability for crops. Excess population pressure on agriculture due to the absence of the large industrial sector. Absence of capital, absence of autonomy in currency policy and in general in monetary matters, encouraging holdings of gold. These are the points about the India situation on those 1938, which is what is wrong with the Indian economic life. The ideas given by the R.V. Rao in his pamphlets. Village clusters. Rao felt that rural communities had to be given a viable base. Therefore, he suggested that a cluster of villages should form a unit for rural development. So, he suggested that the cluster of villages. So, the villagers club together, which is cluster. Okay, join together. Then only they can form a unit for a rural development. They joined together and started a unity for the rural development, so that both social and economic interactions between the villages could develop, and they could effectively generate and fashion their own development with a more meaningful participation by the people. So that the unity the village people can develop their generation and develop their rural society, and they can effectively increase their development. Investment, income and multiplier. Whatever Rao's idea about investment, income and multiplier. Rao's examination of the interrelation between investment, income and multiplier in an underdeveloped country. So 1952, he was his major contribution to macroeconomic theory. So overall economic viewed by the R.B. Rao, he examined interrelation between the investment, income and multiplier. These are the interrelated macroeconomics variables. So how can they work in the underdeveloped economy? As a thinker, teacher, economic advisor and direct policy maker, V.K.R.B. Rao followed the footsteps of his great teacher John Maynard Keynes. Okay? Though he was a thinker, teacher, economic advisor and direct policy maker, he followed J.M. Keynes' ideas. Okay? Institution builder. He was an institution builder. He founded 3 national level research institutions, namely Delhi School of Economics, Institute of Economic Growth and Institute of Social and Economic Change. Dear students, I hope that you learned the economic ideas about J.C. Kumarappa and R.K.V. Rao. Okay, you have to concentrate these 2 concepts and you have to write test about these 2 topics. Okay. The rest of the concept we have to see in the next video. Okay.